This is Excel Chapter 3, and in this chapter we're going to be working with large worksheets. We're going to be doing some charting again and working with more detailed formulas called what-if analysis. So this is a picture of what we're going to be completing. This is a 6-month financial projection for Froyo2Go, and we're going to be doing a worksheet with a lot of formatting on it. You can see over here we've got some of the little charting that we talked about, just a tiny bit I touched on in the last chapter. Down here we're doing some assumptions or what if, so that we can do some financial planning. Basically, an assumption is a value that you can change to determine what's going to happen. For example, if I change this number, what happens to this number? What happens to my end result? So those are going to be our what if analysis, and then we're going to do a detailed chart like this one. So this is how we're going to, we should always draw out kind of a roadmap either in your head or on a piece of paper to see what we're going to be doing. You can see here we're going to be titling it. We probably want a date up here. We've got our revenues, we've got our expenses, we've got figuring out what our operating income is. And this is a 6-month financial projection, so this is 6 months into the future. How much money are we going to be making? We want to do a little bit of the charting out here. And then down here we're going to do some what-if assumptions to determine, well, if we change this, what happens to this? And then we'll be doing our big chart. So go ahead and open up Excel. And we're going to be starting with a blank workbook for this one. So, looking in your book, we're going to begin on page 135 is where we're going to begin following instructions, so if you're following along. In cell A1, we're going to be typing the name or the title of our worksheet. So, oops, I've hidden my ribbon. Let me just get that back real quick. If your ribbon ever disappears, while it's showing, you can right-click and then do uncheck the box to collapse the ribbon. Okay, so in cell A1, we're going to want our title. This is going to be Froyo2Go. And in A2, we will be putting our subtitle, which is 6-month financial projection. Okay, while we are starting this, we're going to be doing some of the formatting styles to it. So we're just going to go ahead right now and add our theme. So under your page layout, we want your theme. If you have it, I want you to use the slice theme. If you don't, pick something else. So we're going with slice. And I'm ready to start typing. So in my first cell is going to be B3, where I'm going to type the month April, because this is where we're starting our projections. Now, I could go ahead and do this all the way across, but I want to go ahead and do my formatting to it before I go and copy it. That way I don't have to do that all later. So, to format April, we're going to actually rotate this. So, in your alignment section here, you're going to, you could use this button. However, we're going to go to the launch button. The launch button, remember, is the little button down in the lower right-hand corner. That's going to bring up all of our formatting options for us, so we can do all those at once. For alignment, we want to align at 45 degrees. So this one here, we want to take it to 45 degrees. Oops. You can also just type in 45 degrees there. So April is going to be kind of slanted like this. Okay, hit OK on that one. You'll see April is slanted. So now if I use my fill handle and fill across, I'm going to go all the way through to September. Okay, so it knows that I want April, May, June, July, August, and September. Using my fill handle, I'm able to get that. Okay, the next one is in cell H3. I'm going to type the word total. Okay, and it automatically assumed that because I had these all formatted at that rotation that it's going to go ahead and rotate my total for me. So that's great. And then in cell I3, I'm going to type the word chart. And again, it rotated that one for me. Okay, moving on. We're going to look at our column widths. In chapter 2, we learned how to resize the columns after the values were already in there. Sometimes we may want to do them beforehand if we want them to be a certain width. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I want to put my put my mouse between the A and the B, and I want to go to 38. So between A and B, I'm going to put my mouse here, get my double-headed arrow. Whenever I click down on my mouse button and hold it, I can drag over, and I'm going to 38. And there we go. Okay. The next thing I'm going to do is all of my months. I'm going to select all those columns, so that's B through G. And I want to make that one 14.5. So with them all selected, all I have to do is change one of them to 14.5. And they will all adjust to the same.
I just like it.
Okay, so moving on. And we're also going to change the width of column H so that it is 18. Now we are ready to start typing in our row headings. So you're going to just be entering your row headings. You can look at your book on page 140. We're going to be typing in those row headings. There is indents, but do not do the indents. We will do those. I'll show you a shortcut for those after we type those in. So we're starting in A4 with the word revenue. Cost of goods sold and gross margin. I'm going to skip row 7 and I'm going to go down to row 8 and type in our expenses. So go ahead and pause the video while you finish typing in all the way down through row 18, where we have the what if assumptions. Okay, so now that you have those typed in, and I had a typo here, so let me just fix this on kiosk. Okay, now that we have those, we are ready to, I said I would show you how to indent these. A lot of times whenever you have several things in a list, you may want what's called a hierarchy or more like an outline form. Revenue is kind of our heading. Cost of goods sold is kind of under that, and then gross margin is important. Same thing down here, expenses is kind of our heading, and then total expenses is important. But what's inside of that, we want to actually indent. So to do that, I'm going to start with my cost of goods sold, which is located in cell A5. And when I'm in A5, I'm just going to, on my home tab, I'm going to press my increase indent, not my increase decimal, but increase indent here in the alignment section one time, which will indent it. I'm going to come down, select A9 through A13. Remember to select, you're using the white plus sign. And I'm going to increase my indent there. So I did not have to tab those in every time I typed them. Okay, now we're ready to copy a range of cells to a non-adjacent destination. We've talked in the other chapters a little bit about adjacent and non-adjacent. Adjacent means they are touching. Non-adjacent means they are not touching. So we want to, for our what if assumptions, we're going to be copying some things to an area that is not touching it. So I'm going to select A9 through A13 because these are the items that we think we can do a what if assumption on and change to see what the results are when those things change. So I'm going to select those. I'm going to copy, and you can copy however you want. You can copy up here. You can Control C. You can right click. I copy those. I'm going to come down to cell A19 and just click in A19, not the entire destination area, just the one, and then I'm going to paste. Okay, so I copied those and pasted them down here. All right, I can hit escape, and that's going to remove the little moving marquee that was located around what I had copied. The other way you can copy is using the drag, drop, or move and copy cells area. You can also use cut and copy. So we're going to insert a new row. So we have realized in our worksheet that we must have 2 rows inserted into the what if assumption table down at your bottom. We want 1 row above bonus for the margin assumption and another between bonus and commission for the sales revenue for bonus assumption. So I want you to tap the row heading for 20. So that means I'm over here, I click on the number 20 to select the entire row. Then I'm going to right click, and I can just do insert, and it puts one underneath of it. Okay. In that row, I'm going to type sales revenue for bonus. And you'll notice that it went ahead and copied that format down too, so that that is also indented. The next place I want to do is on row 19. And I'm going to, let me make sure I'm in the right spot. I'm actually wanting to go to 18. And I'm going to right click and insert. Oops, got that in the wrong spot. Sorry, I told you wrong. We did want to be on 19. Right click, insert. So you can see I ended that with the undo button. And above the word bonus, I want to type the word margin. Now this one copied this formula down, so I have to indent my word margin. Okay, you can also insert columns or even insert cells into your worksheet doing the same thing. To delete a column or row, we're not going to do this, but if I wanted to delete a column, I could click on the column and then simply hit the delete button on my keyboard. And your delete button and your backspace button are not the same thing. This would be the delete button, not the backspace. Okay, so let's go ahead and type this before we get too far into it. Or save this. So go ahead and save this wherever you save your things so you can find them later. And I'm going to name this EX3 Fro-Yo-To-Go. Okay, you could also add financial projection at the end, but you don't have to. So this is EX3 Fro-Yo-To-Go financial projection. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and stop my recording there, and I hope you join me in the next video.